Round 16, buy, hold, sell. We are back as always. It's Origin round, boys. Game 2, joined by Dorr and Mackenzie. What are we thinking? Let's talk about it.
I'm scared of Trelly.
Straight up.
I'm with Connor. I'm fucking terrified.
I'm not scared of Trell. I'm scared of complacency. Game 2s are very hard to win after you've won the first one.
And I was seeing the stats. I think we've only won one from like 5 or 6 games in Melbourne. So it's not looking good. But I have faith.
Yeah, I am concerned. Our record in game 2s of late has not been good. I'm pretty sure we've lost the last 4 out of 5 by like 20 plus.
There's been so many blowouts, and then we come back and win game 3. So
Yeah, it's been a pretty predictable series if it does go to game 3. I'm just sort of thinking, pretend game 1, the red card didn't happen. Do we think we win that? I think we do.
it's so hard to tell though. Like yes, our backs were good and we made some great plays, but is that because we had the extra man? There were times in that game where I was like, geez, the Blues are like marching up the field. Their forwards outplaying us. Their back 3 yardage was fantastic. We did make a lot of mistakes, which probably allowed them that chance to be in the game. But I think if there was no send off, it would have been. Very
I think
close.
DCE was best on, and regardless of if they got a red card, he would have been the best player and controlled the game with his kicking. So Nico Hines, some people have said, probably shouldn't have been the scapegoat. I thought he was pretty bad, to be honest.
It wasn't great.
It's a bit hard when the Maroons had a lot of possession there. New South Wales had one less player especially in the halves of all positions. I think it's really hard to try and, lead your team when you're barely getting any field position. You're absolutely getting carded basically on the left-hand side there until they move Stephen Crichton out there. I feel sorry for Nico, but I can see why they've done it.
I think one of the main criticisms I think for Nico in Origin is he runs a bit sideways. I feel like he sort of sideways and does that little.
He just looked hesitant.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to be more direct if he's going to play Origin again.
Now, what are our thoughts on just the selections in general? I was taken aback not seeing Cobbo, but I think news came out that he had a bit of an injury. Fafita as well, not picked.
Dorr thinks differently for that Cobbo.
They're just the Broncos were saying if we were playing this week, Cobbo would be playing. But at the same time, that could be Cobbo be playing with basically it looks like he's been having injections the last few weeks.
He was top 3 on the field, game 1.
Yeah, he was exceptional.
He was so impactful.
Definitely top 3 for sure.
Is it possible Cobbo's gone to Billy and gone, look, like I'm not 100%, like
Give me a rest, brother.
I don't know.
Unlikely, I guess.
He obviously did have that spell away from the game. I think it was last year or the year before there. He took some time off.
Yeah. I get it.
But yeah, I sort of understand it, but I just think with how good he was.
From a football perspective, it doesn't make much sense to me.
No.
He's still only 22. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's all right. He'll be back for probably game 3, I guess.
Shall we get into the thick of it, the BHS?
Yes,
yeah, we should get into the reason why the listeners and
regardless,
viewers are here.
We're 16 rounds through, but we've still got plenty of names here to talk about.
Just a few.
We'll go to the first man. Recently moved to a new club, Jakey Simpkin, Queenslander actually.
Yes.
Decent option. Carl Lawton in the halves. He's 296k. Let's discuss him.
If you can't afford Cook, it's probably a good option.
This is just one where you're plugging in for this round to try and get that hooker score, in my opinion. Does Carl Lawton just go straight back to
Carl Lawton's barely, he's been playing a bit in the back row, and he's a very versatile utility player. I think that they didn't have a decent hooker or the quality of a hooker outside of Croker that Simpkin provides Manly. No disrespect to anyone else. I just think obviously Gordon Chan Kum Tung has been barely.
I feel like you're better than me at pronunciations.
Now I'm not the greatest either, but no, I just think that Simpkin will be one that definitely I think features for the rest of the season. Also, if you're looking at downgrading someone to a potential, red dot or someone that's not going to burn you that also plays this weekend. I think it's a good option. He also obviously doesn't back up after this week for round 17, but then he also plays again for round 19 coverage. So I guess if you missed someone like Brendan Hands, I think someone like Simpkin could provide you with some good scores over these major bye rounds.
If you haven't made your decision after that, then we'll move on to Hopawati. How many fullbacks are absolute guns in this league? It's unbelievable.
Tell you what, he looks like a serious player.
Like, I think Sloan, from a Dragons perspective, he's pretty good, but just seeing so many young guns, it's like, jeez.
Those Hopper genes, very special. Very special.
Which was the best Hopper? Kenzie, you know which one?
Oh, I'd say Will's definitely, I think, the best.
I swear you started liking him as soon as he became washed with respect to Will.
But definitely not. Definitely not.
I started liking him when I brought him in as a pod, and he got like 136.
Macca liked him for a good couple of seasons on Bloody Supercoach. He was a big Hopper
Maybe I'm
fan.
just thinking about those woeful Bulldogs teams.
Yeah, and he was also playing centre there, but that's a whole other story.
On another note, though, it's great to see the doggies going well. The only, I think, question about Hopawade is the reports of Turbo being back in round 18.
Yeah.
So
I've heard they might be thinking about putting him to centre.
Yeah, that I've heard that as well.
I saw some analytics about like centres actually, like more just as much risk of injury and like high muscle injuries than fullback, which I'm not sure about.
If you look at the way that Toa gets injured, from those plays that a fullback makes, like trying to save a try or like kick return. Like,
well, in Origin, it was like that try saver.
I feel like if he's at centre, he actually will be less likely to get injured, but it'll be tough for them to move him from his position.
I don't see how they fit everyone in. Like, you've already got you got Cooler or Kohler.
They've got four pretty good fullbacks.
As Garrick, and then you've got Saab and like Tommy Talau, who I would have said you could have happily easily dropped in recent years, but this year he's been absolutely unreal.
I think he's saying his hugs and kisses.
So I don't think Hopawade can keep his spot. I think that all those players that I've listed are probably going to be ahead of him.
Which from an NRL perspective makes you think, surely a club goes, look, this guy's not going to crack Manly at fullback. Why don't we gobble him up as our
There's plenty of players like that. Like Trey Fuller's another one who's been outstanding for the Dolphins. And that there'd surely be clubs that are looking at him. I know he's a bit older than Hopawade, but he's still definitely a week to week first grader.
Dragons, just give Armstrong a decent check. Just someone like that. I feel like I'm a bit too critical of Sloan. We'll move on to Jordan Rapana, the old man. Seriously, I don't know how he's this consistent. He's like 33, is he?
No, I don't know, he's been special the last couple of weeks.
He plays youthful as well. He plays very youthful. He does some hard runs.
He has a very unique game. I'll say that about Jordan.
Yeah,
he makes some ridiculous plays, but then the next play he'll save a try.
His game's bipolar.
Yeah, for someone who's played so many games, he plays like.
But from a fantasy perspective, he's probably a cut price keeper. I wouldn't say he's one you want to have long term, so probably one to avoid there. We'll move on to Seyfarth, been very consistent of late. 51 average over his last 3 games. I think the Tigers is a tough one because you sort of don't know what their forward rotation is going to be week by week, but I think he's a decent option door.
Yeah, no, Seyfarth's been playing very well recently. Obviously, that's a lovely 3-game average there of 51.3 fantasy points, break even of 9 this week.
He also does some strange stuff on the footy field, but he's quite...
He gets stuck in.
He's quite good, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that obviously with the injuries to Bateman, Papali'i...
Do you think he's a buy?
I think so. I'm just trying to find out right now as I speak.
Well, obviously injured.
Geez, the Tigers have got a few people on the injury ward.
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit hard. Like Bateman's supposed to be back round 19 to 20.
Yep.
What's that give him? Plays round 17 and plays round 19 as well. Look, let's be positive here and say Bateman comes back in round 20. I'd say. I think that's probably you go with the later.
Tough to
justify.
Option.
I think it's a bit Oh, yeah. Well, he's 507K as well. I guess if you really need a number this week, you can take a punt because he should go well
Well, he
until
plays
Bateman
next
returns.
week, and he plays round 19, while Simpkin and Hopewadi, who we talked about before, don't play next week.
Yes.
Next person is Keeney.
Oh, weird.
One of the more special transformations in terms of like performances in a season.
He's playing out of his skin.
He was pretty bad to start off, and he's been one of the form fullbacks in the league.
I've got to say, I've seen some people in the DMs say, can we give a shout out to our boy Keeney?
We had him as a buy.
And look, let's be honest. Some people have actually held him the whole time. And if you've held him the whole time, I would take my cap off, but I can't.
Well, yeah, there would have been plenty of people who just had him in like, oh, can't get rid of this guy. Like, I'm going to just keep him and see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, well,
he's paying off.
He's just been in scintillating forms. 67 average over the last 3 weeks.
11 break even. Yeah. Is he a buy though? That's the end of the.
That being said,
end question.
Well, hold on. It comes down to when Mr. Brimson's supposed to be back around 17 or 18. So that means
that's just a simple one in my opinion. Where it's a bit too late.
I think it's a bit too late, unfortunately for Keeney. We've obviously got to mention him because his form's been scintillating. Yeah. But
this guy, same team, is not too late to buy. Jaden Campbell is special.
Mate. So when Brinson comes back, what's going to happen to Jaden Campbell? Is there a chance he goes to 14?
No, I think he stays 6 with how he's...
I think Keeney gets dropped.
Jeez.
I think Keeney gets dropped. Brimson goes to fullback. Brimson was absolutely unbelievable at fullback before he got injured. Yeah. They could even take it a bit cautious, give Keeney another week, maybe bring Brimson back in round they play? Yeah, round 19. And then give Keeney that extra week.
Yep. Jojo Fafita, another one on the Titans, is in great form.
Yeah. I think Campbell's definitely the pick of the bunch for the Titans. I think he was definitely going to stay 6. I think, unfortunately, for Tanner Boyd, I think he won't make it back into the side unless Foran gets in trouble with injury or something like that. So I think it will be Brimson, Campbell, Foran, and either Verrills or Randall as the spine for the Titans.
Tanner, I think.
Boys, is it too late for who was I talking about? Tyron Wishart. He's gained so much money already.
But
he's good.
He's made a cut. Looking Melbourne Storm.
Munster's still out for.
Munster's still out till around 2021, and Pezzett's done for the season. So I think it's not too late for someone like Wishart. The only downside is that he just doesn't play the round 19, so the third major bye. In saying that, though, that's the only game the Storm miss for the rest of the season. He's a great
base half as well. Plenty of tackles and runs.
Yeah, dual eligibility as well.
It's tough at 557K.
Dual eligibility, though. He can play wing fullback and half.
But I wouldn't blame someone.
Would you rather get Tyron Wishart or spend 2K more for Jaden Campbell?
Oh, well, I had Wishart from the start, so I'd rather spend the 2K to get Campbell because I don't have him.
Next two guys, Pappenhausen and the CNK, look, I don't mind them, but probably not my preferred winger fullback options, at least this week.
You could definitely wait a week for Pappenhausen.
I'd like to see Pap play a couple.
I see CNK as just like a tier below, like your Teddies and your like the real top flight fullbacks. Especially when the likes of Ponga come back.
I agree.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm buying in. I've seen enough. I think it might be a Queensland jersey within the next 5 years. Maxi Plath.
Yeah, big fan of him.
Yeah, he's been great. Great from Plathy. Obviously plays both this week, next week, and round 19. I think the Dolphins have round 18 bye. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with that.
Play round 19. So,
yeah. I definitely think Plath is a special option.
Well, you can plug in your halves and your middles.
Yeah.
Very special.
That's a special dual eligibility,
That's
one.
one of the best duels.
That's one of the best duels, I reckon.
Yeah, that's a
half
unique duel.
and a mid. That's special.
Did JDB have that duel that one year he played half?
Oh, yeah. He played 6 for a bit.
The best ones I remember from fantasy is definitely Nakora and Bateman having center.
That was the easiest year of fantasy.
Yeah, it was a special year.
And there was no buy rounds because it was COVID year. So it was just
simple. Simple stuff.
Straight through.
What about this next man, Mick? Starting this week.
I do
Harris.
like him. Tohu Harris, I swear, it's the last 3 years has been the same every year. Starts pretty well, gets a niggling injury. He's out for longer than you expected. Comes back a bit mellow, low in scoring, and then finishes strong. So I don't mind him.
Yeah, I can just never jump on him again. He's just burnt me so many times. Every time I buy him, he gets injured or his minutes go down.
Break even at 67.
Exactly. So you can wait a week, like if you want him after the bye.
This next man, I think you have to jump on right now if you can.
I got Herbie.
Exy.
Herbie Farnworth.
707K, but I rate him.
Boys, I got him in last week, boys. Jesus, a fun watch.
71.3 as an average over the last 3 games.
Well,
and
he's got the base of a forward, and he's with the Dolphins playing so well, he's getting tries as well.
That was so good. Like last week, I did the live commentary, and Herbie was just Herbie was bloody everywhere.
Wish we get that timestamp. You know how YouTube shows you like where people are replaying. I
lost my voice. I got so excited when the hammer just unleashed hell. It was just one of the best moments.
One thing about Herbie, like when we knew he was going to the Dolphins, we were like, oh, he's just not going to get the attacking upside that he did at the Broncos. Well, they're going that well where he's basically the same player.
He just runs so hard, breaks tackles and offloads. Like it's a simple formula, but it bloody works. And like as you said, Mick, the Dolphins are playing really well.
And he's still a pod, He's like what 7% ownership, maybe.
He wouldn't be in many teams.
Another man at the same price, different position, also running hard, reinvigorated is Koala Matangi.
Oh, he's been unreal.
I think he's great. He's got that duel. Doesn't play next week, which is annoying, but I think he's in strong form. And he did score.
Jumping on the Rabbits when they're back, well, hopefully they're back, is a good idea as well.
Did I not say put 5 on them to make the finals?
I did. I do remember you saying that, Mick.
Now it's very unlikely, but the odds have shortened.
They definitely have shortened, and the Rabbitohs are playing really well, like Macca said. Definitely jump on if you can, but if you can't, look, it's not the end of the world. It might be a bit too late as well, just with the money he's made. But
the Ted Man, what did Hainsey say? The Ted Man?
I can't remember what Hainsey said. Sorry, Hainsey. I can't remember what he called him.
Probably one of the premier buys this week, I'd say. Deadwood's got his spot in Origin.
Yeah, 708K. Obviously, the only downside is that he misses round 19. But obviously plays this week, low break even, as Mick said, proven gun, premier fullback.
Put the captain on him as well. If
I'd be watching late mail though, in case you get gypped again.
Deadwood.
Yeah, hopefully
Maybe
not.
Captain
Tell you what, I was watching Deadwoods. He didn't look 100% to me.
No, I don't think he was 100%, but he still played.
Does he ever really look like he's in 100%?
Yeah,
like
true.
Obviously, that's
I don't know. It just didn't look like how he was.
It's not a diss. It's just like
I think because he works so hard, he's always
he always looks gassed.
But you think of it, like he still ran for what, like 200 and something odd meters, and
still played well. Yeah,
still got through all that work.
Now, next guy, Reed Marnie and Damien Cook. I'm going to put them together because you need a hooker this week.
Marshall King's obviously another option as well.
JMK as well.
But I think these two are probably.
What are we ordering those 3?
I'd go Cookie 1, Marnie 2.
Yeah.
JMK 3.
In recent form, you're probably going to have to go.
I think
Cookie, but Reed Marnie's been pretty good.
I've got JMK. I think there's great upside to him, but I'd probably be ranking them Cook. You guys all know that I've been very high on Damien Cook for at least a month now.
Door bought low.
Yeah, Reed Marnie is.
Marnie's a good player, but geez, he's close to
He's actually been really good this season just because he just tackles his heart out and like
he's not forcing his hand like he did last year.
The only reason I'm leaning towards someone like Damien Cook is a lot of teams have probably now 2 hookers, and the fact that even though Cook doesn't play next week, he plays the round 19 bye. I think that probably puts Marshall King potentially as well over Marnie because Marnie doesn't play the round 19 bye. Yeah. But look, all great options. You can't really go wrong, but I just, with the way Souths are playing at the moment, and Cookie's looking unreal, so I'd be going him. But if you want a safe option, Marnie's always the best because he just tackles.
Yep.
And tackles.
A couple of mids, Tarpany and AFB. I think both are great options. They're keepers.
Pretty safe.
Tarpany's
he didn't have the best of games
doesn't have a high
last week,
ceiling, even though he did eat against the Dolphins.
Yeah. Bit of extra time, but he was just unreal at the back end of their second half as well. So
yeah, he was elite.
Look, with Tarpany, I think you've got a safe floor of around 45 to 50, and then you've got a potential big upside of like around 60, 70 points.
Both play next week and don't play round 19.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Matty Burton was very shocked he wasn't on the bench for the Blues, but I sort of get it.
Did Gussie have a word, Mick? Did Gussie have a word, Mick?
Yeah, mate.
I reckon Gussie's had a word.
I reckon Gus has got a bit too much influence.
He's got too much pull, yeah.
I just think that all the mail that I had was Burton was playing 18th man, and then the team's announced and he's not there. And the Dogs kicked up a stink in the first game because obviously the rules that the 18th man can't play.
It doesn't make sense that the Dogs pick up because it happens to every team. It's not like it's been.
I know.
Like, for example, did and always been 18.
Yeah, why is this a new thing? This is always.
I can tell you now. I reckon Burton's a shoe-in for 18th man in Game 3 because the Dogs aren't playing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Watch this space.
I'm sick of seeing justification. Everyone's like, "Oh, I don't think Burton should get picked because he doesn't do his Burton bombs as much." That is just delusional.
He's good at other things.
Yeah. He's been great this year. Flats is having a great year this year, and he's
we need him on the pod.
Yeah,
he's the best player out of all us.
Matty Burton has been a special pickup for Flats. So, look, Dogs are playing well. Probably their best season in a long time. So, look, you just got to jump on the back of big Matty Burton there.
Yep. What about Katoa from Storm?
Well, we got 3 great second row options, Mick. We can probably put them all together
Fafita
here.
And Aiken,
yeah. Katoa, Aiken, and Fafita. Look, Fafita, I don't know what's going wrong. I don't know what he's doing wrong. Bence in the podcast compared him, Lukey, and Catewell and their statistics, and he basically shits on all of them apart from tackles per game. So, look, I think that you've got to get if he's not getting picked. I know he's 895k and something stupid, but look, he had a minor injury last week. Obviously, stuffed over a lot of owners because myself, I captained him as well.
Fafita doesn't have photos,
but the only reason to not have Fafita in your team previously was the fact that he might or should get picked for the Maroons, and he clearly isn't. So
no, yeah. Oh,
if you can afford him, jump on.
Yeah. The only concern is that if the Maroons lose game 2, I
hate that.
I've changed my mind on that. I feel like if we lose, he's still not going to get picked.
Yeah, I don't know. If he can't get picked now, yeah.
Why he's not going to get picked?
Yeah. It's just something to worry. A slight worry. But Aiken's been great for us. A lovely fan of the All Out pod.
This is probably his best of a year, right?
He's just been special.
I just hope Billy doesn't get too in his own head, trying to overthink things, and he's listened to all the hype about Cobber picking Cobber on the bench worked out beautifully.
I don't think that's the case.
No,
I just hope he knows something we don't.
I think he's just done it for a reason, and he's obviously with the Cobbo thing. I think he's just obviously concerned. You don't really want to be taking players in who have to get needled up.
He clearly he really cares about the players' welfare.
Yeah,
you saw it with Walsh. You see it with the other players. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Bring on that beef.
There's the buys.
Yeah, some special buys.
Yeah,
and
plenty of stats.
Plenty of good insight.
Wouldn't necessarily give you decisive our choices, but it's early in the week.
Yeah. Also, we're just gonna in these sort of podcasts, we're just gonna give you plenty of options, and then look to our templates.
They're
templates
they're
where we actually really lock it in, and we'll give you because we can only post 10.
We're pretty good with our buy hold sells.
We've been pretty good. I think the only bad one we had, but it was only I think we said to sell Arthur's, I think, and he popped off that 1 week, but then went back to rubbish the week after.
Enjoy your 20. Yeah.
Actually, that's just stupid. He just got lucky that he got a few tries or 2 tries that game.
Anyway, let's move into the holds. We should be able to just power through these.
Yeah, I'm just
going to
list these
but
off.
I think we should touch on this first one just quickly. Obviously, Nico Hines, 932k. I know a lot of people would have sold him. Unfortunately, fantasy doesn't tell us his break even because of it being a buy round. Oh, really? I'd say it'd be pretty high. You could obviously use fantasy stats or something, but I didn't have time to get to that because it's actually incorrect. Fantasy stats is out by a couple.
Yeah,
so I don't want to give the listeners or the viewers false break evens.
That's why you chuck us a follow, hit our DMs.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously his last 3 games hasn't been that great for Nico. Break even of 48. But look, he obviously plays next week and round 19, 17, 18, 19. If you've still held him, he's definitely a hold.
And it's Nico Hines.
Break even isn't 48.
What is it? Oh, no.
3 game
no,
average.
3 game average. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Mick. Yeah, 3 game average, 48.
He's an easy hold.
He's a proven superstar. Like
I think out of the whole list, he's by far the easiest hold out of all of them.
He didn't look like kicking that, did he?
No, unfortunately, I called it live. I was hoping he did because I wanted a bit more airtime, a bit of more commentary.
I wanted more points out of him.
Yeah. Obviously, Dylan Brown, Mick. That was one that we
hold.
Yeah,
we probably got that wrong, but he scored a try. Doesn't play this week, but I think at this stage of the season, it's just like there's priorities everywhere.
Yeah, if you've held him, it's great. Like if you didn't sell him last week, plays the next 2 weeks. Obviously next week and the round 19 bye.
So we got May. That's a clear one.
Tyrrell. He's back starting.
With only 2 forwards on the bench and one of them is Tupanua, who will probably play.
Maybe a captain option.
Yeah, definitely.
Cordless did make that shout on the TRT pod.
Great minds.
So yeah.
And we got.
What about your boy Mick? Obviously KPP. If you didn't sell him last week, definitely hold. He plays 17 and 19. Mick, what about your boy
Alex Twell?
Alex Twell.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I thought I was onto something there. I thought I was seeing something other people maybe weren't. I thought he's a pod. And yeah, I think he was meant to play, and then he got a head knock at training.
Yeah, yeah. Him and Lob, I think it was, collided, I think, at training.
And I don't think he can come in because he wasn't in the extended squad or anything.
No, well, he got 11 days stand down, so he just wouldn't have been able to make it in time because of it happened late during the week in training.
So frustrating.
But the good news is Tigers have still got a lot of injuries, and he plays round 17. So he should be back next week, round 17, and then also plays round 19. So if you've got him, definitely hold him. And then maybe move him on after round 19, try and upgrade him to like a Payne Haas or a Yo or something like that.
KO Weeks, obvious one, hold. Morgan
First bad
Smithies.
game for Weeks. Like
he's a beast.
Yeah, playing this week.
He's better than Strange.
Oh, jeez.
Agreed.
I think he's more influential.
Yeah, no,
I think Strange
agree.
is a great ball runner, great 6. But who's actually helping them win more? I think it is Weeks.
Strange is a better fit with Fogarty probably, but I think Weeks is overall a better player.
Morgan Smithies, I'd hold.
Just hold for this week and then sell.
Like all these guys, like Finu, Strange,
I'd
Salmon.
sell. The only reason
all playing.
The reasons I'd say Smithies, I'd sell after this week just because he's not really making that much money and he's not really giving you that much of an elite score. Blore, I'd probably sell after probably either this week or the next week. I think he's been pretty average the last few weeks. Howard's snuck onto the bench as well of recent times. But look, these are like sort of luxury trades, I guess. If you
these are sort of guys where if you have over 13,
Finu, definitely I'd just be holding for now until those players come back.
Like, seriously.
Round 20, Strange,
Burbo, I'd hold. Blaze Talagi.
The only one on that list, Salmon and Cooler, I think, are the other ones.
Like,
so
I'd only sell them if you've already got a full team and you're trying to like get a hooker in or something like that.
If you need the number, keep them. But if you don't, then
I think 110% you sell Cooler after this week.
Oh yeah, definitely, I agree.
Because he's basically only reason he's on the hold is because he plays this week. Otherwise,
he's playing bad. He's just not getting much usage.
He's not a good fantasy player at center.
Yeah,
he's a good footballer, like good NRL actual player, but fantasy wise, he's absolutely terrible at center.
Killed his points.
Yep. Yeah. We'll go to the sells. We'll try and wrap this up before 30 minutes. 29 minutes in. Ruben Garrick.
You could hold him.
I think he's a hold. I'm keen to dispute that. I think he's going to be a gun in the centers when he comes back. But what do you think?
It's just he's out. It's just I think he's.
I get it if you try to get.
I'm holding him as well, but I'm just saying like he's out. He's priced this week. He's break even while it says buy. Obviously, it's going to be ridiculously high because he got 7.
Yeah. Doesn't play next week.
Doesn't play next week either.
It's tough, but
if you can cover him, I feel like you should.
Yeah, 100%. If you can cover the next 2 weeks, you
should be able to cover him easily as well.
Regardless of break even, at this point of the season, you sort of want to keep your guns if you can.
One man that is definitely a sell is Jaden Brayley. Yeah, look, he's lost these minutes.
I'm not going to blame him.
Order of the Phoenix.
AOB.
What about Order of the Phoenix? His form?
He's been good.
Yeah.
I agree, but still Adam O'Brien is making that decision.
Brayley's trying his nuts off, but he hasn't been playing that well, to be honest.
Sell him. We're definitely going to be moving Brayley up to probably someone like a Cook this week for sure. What about our boy Kelmer?
Yeah, we got Kelmer in. No good.
He's missing the next 6 weeks. So
pretty bad tackle.
Pretty
bad tackle.
He got a bit excited and just lifted Lindsay a bit too far.
It's a shame
He
'cause
actually
was playing well.
disputed it.
Yeah.
He disputed the tackle, but he ended up having a
He's
broken
injured
finger.
Anyway, yeah. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
so he's
did
out
you
for
see
5
that,
weeks
yeah.
anyway.
So since he's missing the time anyway,
Don't
he's like,
laugh
I'll
an
dispute
injury,
it
but it's
just in case.
ironic.
Yeah.
And last one, bit disappointed I bought him. Might be going. Actually, I think he is going. JDB from the
Well,
Red
this
V.
is the question I wanted to ask. Obviously, these rumors about Cook going to the Red V. Then I've heard after that started. Then I've heard the more rumors about JDB and Cook in a swap deal because Rabbitohs are looking for props, and I just think that since this news has come out the last couple of weeks, that his minutes have gone south.
Do they really need a prop that much where they
Yes.
get rid of their starting hooker?
Yes. Because I reckon there could be I reckon Marshall King could go with Wayne to South.
There's a take.
I think Dawes.
Well, they've got Matt
something
Mazzulis.
there.
They got Matt Mazzulis as well. But look, I think that
Inspector Daw.
When there's smoke, there's fire. Door, isn't that right?
I don't know.
When it rains, it
Unless
pours.
DeBellin's injured, like why would a player of his caliber be playing?
Well,
Representative forward.
Oh, Daw, bro.
Especially since he was going well.
Yeah,
It's not like he was playing bad.
I don't think this is speculation. I think you've just nailed it.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
Please click
Watch
the right
this
one.
space.
Oh, shit.
No, that's all right.
I can't
Alright.
get... Oh, anyway.
Yeah, special.
Finish on that.
All right, boys. What do we finally end on? What are we thinking for game
Like
2?
Origin?
Yeah, Origin. What are we thinking?
I think the Blues win by 13 plus.
That's noted. I think the...
I'd say it's nothing new from Macca and with his
Queensland win
projection
by 4.
for his tips.
I'm going to say DCE man of the match again. Because I
Look,
nailed it game 1.
DCE's been in real good form. Oh, man.
Dor wants to say it. Dor wants to say Latrell.
No,
Lions win.
I'm concerned. I am really concerned.
I'm not.
You know what? I'm not.
I
either.
just feel. Look, I honestly
We
want.
have synergy.
I think that I'm obviously a Queenslander. I want Queensland to win, but I just think that the Blues have picked like the perfect side
I agree,
for this game,
I'm also
and I'm very, very concerned about our edges,
Brother.
I'm just
Moses is half done.
Yeah, did you see what happened to the Queensland side last time Latrell played centre? We absolutely got folded.
Yeah, but that was before Billy.
And then
before
I
Hammer.
think Connor
before Reece Walsh.
Watson's a great addition.
Yeah, Connor Watson is a great addition.
Yeah, he's a good pick.
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think maybe the
How
Blues.
much influence does Connor Watson have? I know he's been great for the Roosters, but he's not like a game changer.
Look,
Could be.
it could be. I think it'll give Robson.
That's going to come back to bite me.
Clip that.
Scores
Yeah.
a double.
I'll give my obviously Queensland by I don't know how doesn't matter by how many, but if I'm going to give my honest opinions, I'm concerned. So I think New South Wales probably 1 to 12.
Well, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Thanks for
We'll
listening.
see you next week for round 17s. Bye,
Yeah, I
wholesale.
think this is a lengthy one, so enjoy.
Enjoy.